Oh, I went out of focus.
Nothing beats a cold open with an autofocus right when you're about to begin the show.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 62 of That Range Life, a show sometimes about golf. It's a couch episode, everybody. Bill is on location. William, well, before we get into there, let's do the like, subscribe, bell routine. If you haven't already, jump in. Everybody's doing it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell. You can brag later about you were one of the, first 500, when we hit that million subscriber mark. You were on the cutting edge of the YouTube golf world.
Let me put it to everybody.
Weirdos like us.
That's the truth. Let me put it to you this way. I got some news from Kris before we started recording tonight. By the way, it's Monday night. For those wondering, we're a day late. I got some news from him. His show, his YouTube channel is so popular now with just rapid subscriptions. He doesn't get email notifications anymore.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
That's how big this channel. That's how big things are getting.
It's like Christmas morning every morning. I open up the studio app and I say, "Oh, look at that! Went up another 10, 15 subscribers, whatever it is." So
that.
Yeah. Look at us too with our, we said we'd wear more of our merch and here we are.
Hang on. Let me see if I can do this without focus issues.
You got the joggers. You got the joggers. Nice job.
Joggers.
The joggers.
I did this. So I'll get into, All right. So I'm going to cut to the chase to get back to the joggers and the merch. SecondCityGolf.com.
That's right. Link in the description.
Oh, I do. I forgot. It's this. Okay. So I'm in Wisconsin at the in-laws house near, I don't know if you've heard of this place called Sand Valley Golf something and Resort. I don't know. Who cares? And so it's nice out. And I said to my daughter before I left, I'm like, hey, they have a tennis court up at this like housing community thing. Go bring your rollerblades. We bought new ABS blade hockey sticks.
Nice.
Play a little hockey. So
yeah.
I haven't played hockey in like 6 years, maybe.
Yeah.
If maybe more like 5 years. And I went, all right. I've been working really all day, every day for the last 3 days. So it was the first day I've gotten to do anything. And I said, let me get dressed. Let's go. Go downstairs to my room, throw on some delightful Kent wool socks. I throw on some sweatpants. I go, the only pair of sweatpants I brought were my Driving Range Heroes joggers. Cool. Oh, I'm wearing my Driving Range Heroes t-shirt. That's kind of funny, but it's all right because I'm going to wear something to cover it. I got a hoodie. It's my Driving Range Heroes hoodie. Okay. Not the end of the world. The jogger's a hoodie. It is what it is. And then I went, well, I got this thing going, right? All this.
Right.
And it is, I don't know how it is in Chicago right now, but it is windy as shit up here.
Yeah, it's windy.
Like this house is solid and it sounds like it's going to blow over.
Yeah.
So I go, I can't be out there. I mean, maybe my sick flow going so fast doing that. It's not, it's just going to be this in my face. I'm like, I have to wear a hat. Here's what I have. A Sand Valley, like safari bucket hat in my closet here that I keep here. And this hat. So it would have been Driving Range Heroes hat, Driving Range Heroes hoodie, Driving Range Heroes sweatpants, and not recording That Range Life show sometimes about golf. I went, oh boy, we got a problem. So thankfully I had a Puma quarter zip in my closet up here too. So, so I wore that, but I said, you know what? I'm leaning into it for the show. I'm going to go all DRH. If I can't do it on That Range Life, where can I?
It's true.
Speaking of Wisconsin, by the way.
I'm into it.
Little spotted cow. There you go. I quickly deleted a bunch of these last night. I'll just say that.
If you come across any of the, oh man, there's one that my wife loves. It's like a berry variant of one of the of their beers. I would ask you to grab a 6-pack.
There's a bunch of the berry ones, if they're what I'm thinking, because there's that strawberry rhubarb that everybody loves.
That's the one.
I feel like we've taught. Did I not give you some last time?
No, you did. Yeah.
Okay, good. I have more of that if you want some, by the way. But if I see it,
my wife could use it right now.
I feel for it, man. I feel for it. I'm starting to think when the day comes, we should, the 4 of us, 6 of us, because my kids should just go in with both of them same time and be like, we're both just cutting the cord the same day.
Right.
We'll be a support structure together. It'll be fantastic.
Right.
This is a weird opening. So yeah, I'm in Wisconsin drinking some Spotted Cow. Not mad at it. I will keep an eye out for Strawberry Rhubarb. I think I'm hitting the Fancy Pants liquor store tomorrow.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man. We already hit the store. You can get everything that we're wearing. Well, I mean, everything that Bill's wearing for sure at secondcitygolf.com. Let's jump over to, we have a very fun, a very unique, I feel like, not many people are going to have this sort of equipment, especially in hand, our Gear Talk. Little teaser. William, what do you have in the bag over there next to you?
Well, I don't know, maybe one of the hottest golf clubs to be released in the year 2021. The Tommy Armour III Sub70 irons.
There they are, man.
Now there's
You've
a little
heard about them.
Yeah.
You saw the unboxing. We talked to TAIII himself about them, and now William has them himself.
It's a little bit of uniqueness to the set, which we'll cover in Gear Talk, but I'm pretty excited to bring this here TAIII iron by Sub70 Golf to you, our loyal subscribers and bell notification hitters that want to give us a thumbs up on the video. Happy to get this video out there finally. And it's literally been 2 years in the works. Hopefully we do it justice.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to do our thing where we just kind of talk about life and golf. I'm going to tell you about my very first competitive round as far as stroke play goes that I've ever played this weekend with the Chicago Golf Tour with our friend Adam Unfiltered. And then whatever else we decide to talk about. Sound good?
Before I get going, I just noticed this. There's a pile of coasters on this table next to me. And I forgot about these, but they are pictures. All of them are different pictures related to something in my father-in-law's life. My brother-in-law gave them to him for a gift. I've looked at him. My father-in-law is stretching. It looks to be with my mother-in-law and her brother, and it's at a cemetery somewhere.
Okay.
This is wild.
Hey, say that for the show. For the show. Like the show.
Oh, we'll ask them all about it for sure.
Okay.
And in addition to that, I want to point out real quick before I get going here, there's a fireplace right here. And I thought like, this is going to be fun. I'll have a nice like cocktail and the fireplace going. It's one of those like, fake light ones and it's easy. It's flip the switch. It's on. It's
right.
Great. And it looked great. And I'm like, God, it's hot in here, man. Jesus, I'm roasting. So I had to turn the fireplace off and it's been off for a while. I'm literally sweating. Because I just cleaned it here in Wisconsin. I took my golf towel off my bag so I could, as the show continues.
Well, if you saw William's setup there off camera, I can see why you're a little warm. You've got this, you got the lights going, you've got the whole thing. So I get it, man. I get it.
The things we do for what was supposed to be a shitty, campy YouTube show over a year ago, 62 weeks straight. Just saying.
That's right. All right, let's get to it. We're coming up on the 10-minute mark. It's time. Let's do some gear talk.
All right, gear talk this week. We're going to talk about the Sub70. Hey, real quick, shout out Sub70 Apparel. We're recording on Monday, officially launching today.
That's right.
And I said,
that's right.
I know where this video came from that they posted on Twitter. My good friend, my genuine friend, we haven't done that bit in a while. My genuine friend, we're actually real life friends. I told him I loved him the other day. He's a really good friend, and he got weird about it because that's what he does.
It's also true.
Can't be like, you can't tell someone you care about him, but he made the video that they dropped today saying like, check it out. The new Sub70 apparel is live. And the video was so damn good.
Thanks, man. It's
no, I'm not done telling you. I told you it's good. It's so damn good. I clicked the link and and I bought myself a hoodie and Sub70 t-shirt.
Did you get the hoodie?
I got it in blue. I'm like, oh, black. They're going to do their colors. Then they had that like royal blue one. Purchased. Yeah. Largely because I have so many black hoodies because I like this pandemic. I decided I'm a hoodie collector. Right. And I have that Linksoul True Links wear one. That's like a heather black, not heather gray, heather black. Mm-hmm. And then I got crazy and ordered a gray That Range Life lightweight hoodie recently. And so rather than get the black one that caught my eye, I went, this royal blue one's pretty sick. So I ordered it. I got it because of your video. I don't know if I would have if it wasn't for your video, Kris. So good work.
Thanks, man.
Okay, that was. I still would have ordered it, but your video was good.
That was a fun day, and it's. I genuinely appreciate them putting their product, trusting me to shoot that for them.
I told him like his work, guys, his work will be great. No question there. Welcoming him around you and other people, questionable. Right. You have to be a special person. Unfortunately, I am one.
It's fair. You are.
That's why we have the weird chemistry that we do. All right, let's talk about
the clothes.
Their apparels are great. Apparels are great. Let's talk about this iron. Here's my question for you, Kris.
Okay.
I've been nerding out about, quite literally, we talked about a little bit on the Tommy Armour, the third show we had. We've talked about it in text messages, playing golf. What do you want to know about these? I'd be interested to know.
So first, let's start. Yeah, let's start with you had mentioned before that there are some differences between the ones that are in your hand and the ones that will be in the market.
I don't know how much I want to talk about that because of that's a blog post I can't waste. I gotta use it, fill up the day. But yeah, so if you recall, we did talk about, if you watched, I'm hitting myself with a forged muscle bag blade here. If you watched our Tommy Armour the third show, I mentioned that excuse me, this spotted cow's been going down easy. His set would not be exactly the same as the retail set. He had some small changes he requested. He wanted the ones that he was going to play to look like, I don't know, a vintage Hogan. He said, vintage, mid 1900s, that era of blades, which was a great era for blade irons. So one day I get a call from Jason Highland of Sub70 Golf. I'm like, man, he doesn't just call me randomly on he does, but not on Wednesday nights.
Yeah. Right.
So Jason Highland's calling me. He's calling me. I got to answer the phone. He's like, doctor, got a question for you. I'm like, what's up, man? How your vintage iron collection's pretty deep these days, right? Like, yes. So His Excellency called me and he said, hey, looking at the newest version of my irons that you have sent me, here's what I'm looking for. He wants something with a little straighter leading edge and a little like stubbier squared off toe. Do you have anything like that you can send me some pictures of that I can send off to the factory to make his irons? Obviously I do. So I go upstairs and I go out to the garage and I grab like 4 clubs, go back downstairs, go find like 4 more. And when I say 4 clubs, like 4 different irons. And I go find 4 more in the basement. I grab a piece of white printer paper. And then I take like a ruler or something and just make a straight line. Because you remember he wants a straight leading edge. So we need a point of reference.
I was going to say, for those budding photographers out there, when you take pictures of clubs or whatever, a white piece of printer paper is perfectly good backdrop.
That was a great nugget in this video, Kris. That's like, I'm not joking. That was good piece of info you didn't know you came here for. Like, very valuable. And it's true. Like,
it is true.
It's all you need.
That's it.
Great piece of advice. It's 100% true. I for that, like exactly what you're describing. I love when we get a big fresh layer of snow at home. and it's super sunny out. Cause then I'm like, get all the, even where it's a little overcast, I go, I have that perfect white backdrop and some UVD, whatever, you know, goofy sun things are. I'm going to go take pictures of clubs, white paper, same effect. So I take these 8 clubs and I go, all right, I know what he's saying, but I know like a lot of modern clubs that had vintage looks. So I took 2 Miras, probably like circa 2005 Cobra blade, a 1964 Wilson staff Dynapower.
It's a good one.
Which I believe was what he ended up picking. Not to get too ahead of it here. A Hogan, my beloved 73 Hogan Apex, and a couple other. And I said, here's 8 clubs and a couple Mizunos. I even text message John Heisey of driverangeheroes.com, and I go, hey, need you to draw a straight line on a piece of white paper. Send me a picture like this of his Mizuno MP14s.
Oh, yeah. God, those are so great.
So there's no telling what any of the clubs are. I have a key in my notebook, the legend, if you will. And I send these 8 pictures to Highland. Highland takes them, sends them off to TAIII, and he's like, that number 4 or number 3, whatever. That's
right,
the
whatever it was. Yeah.
And I go, all right, it's a 64 Dynapower. So I sent Highland a bunch of pictures, and then TAIII is like, yep, that's the one. Love it. Sends off to the factory. You know, sometime happens later. There's no boat stuck in the Suez Canal, so they get here in a reasonable time. Right. And he's like, they're close. I just need a little different sole and leading edge, blah, blah, blah. But I still want some of this like modern forgiveness, not the straight, just razor blades that the soles used to be. Yeah. And so Jason comes back to me. We're sitting on the phone. I mean, this is like 2-3 weeks, probably like 3 to 5 weeks later, sitting on the phone, talking about it, looking at pictures online. And he's sending me pictures of like the retail TAIII. And he's finally like, all right, you know what? The next set that comes through, the next batch I get made, I'm sending you, we're closer, but I'm sending you a set of the heads. So at least you have them in hand. So if he has any changes he wants to make or whatever, you know what we're working with.
Yeah. It's awesome. So awesome.
Okay. I don't know.
Now,
I don't think he minds me telling that story, but like that is what happened. Like it wasn't just like me going, "Oh, this is a cool picture." Like I'm not telling you to put the hours, him, TAIII, the factory put it by any means. Right. I wasn't working on this for 2 years, and I wasn't building the club. I was like, how do we just fine tune, grind the man's set himself? Like it wasn't wild,
right? Right.
I mean, you remember I was texting you about it, asking you your thoughts and how does this look to you? Blah, blah, blah. So so I was like, yes, easy question. And fortunately I was lucky enough the summer before to hit the prototype, one of the prototypes of the retail club. And it was sick. It was so good. So like, I knew what I was getting myself into. I wasn't like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be good enough, so please don't send them to me. Right. It's very exciting.
Right.
So
now, sorry, go ahead. Finish.
I was going to say, so my set is a little different than the retail set in that I have the stubbier nose like he does, which looks like a little bit of a higher toe because it's not as round, just sort of abruptly ends. And then a little straighter, traditional, like, mid 1900s blade sole, which is a little harder to hit. I'm not going to lie. Jason Highland's prototype was a lot easier to hit than this one, but it's pretty sick in person. I'll say that. Yeah.
Now the ones that are going to be in retail, they will be slightly easier to hit, like you're saying, and they'll be more of the, they still got to sell these, right? So they're going to be a little more modern looking. They're going to be a little easier to hit. But they're still a player's iron, right? So
it's when I hit Jason's, I'm like, this is a really forgiving player's iron. It's still a player's iron. Regardless, like, so if I look at mine, and I think I've sent you, no, I haven't. I will send you the high res pictures you can put in here.
Great.
They still have thin top lines. They're still thin. Like you probably won't be able to see it much, but like, that's not thick.
No, that's real thin.
I mean, literally just from this perspective, like that's not a thick club.
Right. Right.
So even the retail versions are like that, but
really? Okay.
The soles are more modern in terms of their camber and their heel relief, toe relief. They're a little rounder, just a little more user friendly through the turf, which makes a huge difference. the big kick in them, right, is they say on the Sub70 side, like each specific iron was designed and engineered to hit a certain shot, right? You want your 5 iron to do this, your 6 iron to do that, 7 iron all the way through your wedge. Well, really, they sell them three through approach wedge, so you can get a million club set. And when they say that, it's not like, okay, long irons go like this, mid irons go like that, short irons go like that. I mean, it really is. The 4 iron is different from the 5 iron, is different from the 6 iron, and and so forth.
Yeah.
And that's pretty consistent even in mine versus the retail set. But if you think like, oh yeah, I can play an AP2, which I'm so behind on TAIIIs model, so I don't know how good that reference is. But like, oh, I could play an AP2, I could play a player's iron. I want to put this in the AP2 category. It's a little bladier looking than that, and feeling and performing. But the long irons have, I've really never seen anything like it. They have offset like a game improvement club. They do, but they aren't trying to make like a seamless little heel swivel in that offset area into a meteor club like that. It's still a blade. It just has shaft offset.
Right.
So that's going to keep you from, which you can, it is so easy to slice a 4 or 5 iron blade, right?
Oh,
so that offset helps take that out of it. The sole is going to be a little friendlier too than your traditional, like, Hogan Apex from 83, 84.
It's going to slip through the turf a little easier.
Right. But in those longer irons, they put, actually, I forget. I have the whole set right here. I don't know how well. We'll see how well this comes up. Click the mic on it. You see those? Can you see them really?
I was going to ask about those. Yep.
The screws, right?
Yep.
They're tungsten weights that screw in the what is often recalled to. It's often referred to, recalled and referred. We're going to be in recalled is a word though. It's often referred to as the muscle pad, if you will. And
wait, what iron is that? Those are longer irons?
Yeah, and this is 5. Okay. So like your 3 through 5 have these weights in them. And what that does, takes your center of gravity lower,
right?
Lower in the head. It does help them center it more. So it's not your center of gravity isn't all the in sweet spot, isn't all the way back toward the heel. It's a little more out in the center of the face. That, Kris, is going to make the face a little more forgiving, but it's also easier to get the ball up in the air, launch it a little higher, right? You're not going to hit balloons. Don't get me wrong. You're just not going to hit lasers that go 6 feet off the ground, 210 yards. They comfortably get in the air because of it.
Right.
So that's in the long iron.
Yeah.
And then when you get to 6, you start getting into, this is a 7 iron, but same thing, right? Just traditional, whatever. But they do modify the center of gravity throughout the set. So you're like, your short irons fly a little lower, a little more like shooting darts into the green instead of floating balloons in. They are a player's iron. So do you want to hit it high? Do you want to shape it a different way? You're going to be able to.
Right.
Looking for forgiveness, though, not telling you there's a ton. You do need to be a lower handicap player. I don't think, unless you're like a 10 or 12 that just can't keep a drive and play or can't putt, but you're really good with your irons, like these probably aren't for you. I would put these in the, if considering your games all around your handicap, I would put these in like the 7 and lower handicap category.
Okay.
Man, they're so good though. The feel on them is incredible. Like, have you hit those McGregors you got? Oh yeah. Oh, you have.
I have, yeah. Not a ton. I mean, I think I've taken them out once.
Fun, aren't they?
They're super. They're so much fun.
But so it's that feeling where, man, you catch those sweet vintage forged blades just have the best feeling on them.
Yep.
As we're saying this, the McGregors we're talking about are Tommy Armour 915s.
It's true. That's true.
So
I got one right here.
What do you know? What do you know? Those are so sick too, by the way.
Look at that.
But there's a certain feel with a vintage blade where it's like you could hit it 90 degrees around a tree. You can hit them high, you can hit them low, and you can just feel every little just millimeter on that face.
Yeah.
And the sweet spot's small, but it's so pure when you get it. just so pure. But I mean, the response and control out of this club is unbelievable. Just so good.
Yeah. And if you weren't going to play them, if you're a 12 handicap, they would look nice in a bag next to a fireplace like yours, and just let them sit there.
I mean, you've seen my usual location. I'm not above it.
That's right.
I'd be like, I have no business playing these, but they'll be there. And you know me, just out of principle now in my like connection, which probably, we can talk more about it another time, even though we went pretty deep on it. But like, there's a great chance these go in my bag just because of my personal connection to them, not because I have any business scoring with them.
Right. Which is fine. Who cares?
So good. And
I have one more question. So go ahead. And
shoot. No, I'm just saying they're so good. The control on them is, especially in the short irons, is unbelievable. I'm not just making that up. I will tell you, I'm still adapting to the long irons with their offset and blade look, but it is a fantastic golf club. It's so. Everyone who's like, oh, Sub70, they're just a trend, who's direct to consumer. You're lost, man. The club's incredible. I really feel like, real quick before I ask a question, I feel like Sub70 is really capitalizing on that chip on their shoulder because of that stuff. But you know what? I was talking
about
what I
mean? Like they've been pumping out some really great stuff and using their imagination, thinking outside the box and all that stuff. And I think a lot of that is to just, we know those guys, they just want to prove everybody wrong over and over again.
I was thinking I was talking about this with someone else today, and I realized the exact person I was talking to was you. So, Kris, I was talking to my one friend today. But that's the thing. I feel like they don't have the chip on their shoulder. Everybody's like tried to put, and I can go on about this a little bit, and I think I might. Everybody's like tried to put the chip on their shoulder, and they're just like, no. I'm not having a chip. Like, we'll show
Maybe
you.
That's it. Maybe you're right. Maybe they don't care, and that's why they just make whatever they want, and it's great stuff.
Like, we talk about this all the time, true. Right? Tour Edge and them are right down the road from each other. I talked to some guys at Tour Edge, like, yeah, we know of them. Like, they're making cool stuff. Tip our cap to them, and they're obviously the Tour Edge is big in the like great clubs for good value. So I think they appreciate when they see someone do that well. Meanwhile, I play a round of golf with Jason Highland, and he wants to look at my Tour Edge stuff. He's like, David Glaud's a genius. He's so good. Tour Edge. I mean, they've just been making incredible stuff. Their gear's great. And you're like, no, they're your competition. You're supposed to be like, oh, we're better than them. It's like, imagine, I guess it's a lot like us, right? No, we're competing golf media places. We can't be friends and say nice things about each other. Right. Like, are you crazy?
Right.
So I think
you're right. That's fair.
And I think this TAIII iron specifically, when they announced they were available for order, another brand came out and was like, one of our competitors, and looks a lot like this design. And I sent some texts, and I was like, listen, I get where this guy's coming from, but I could literally give me 2 hours and I will find you 100 golf clubs that look like this. Yeah,
right. That's not, I mean, come on. I know who that is, and that's just that dude being that dude.
It's like the Mizuno, the Mizuno T-Zoid. Like, I mean, the little undercut cavity on a blade with this low weighting, especially like geared toward the speed. Like, Sub70 wouldn't sit there and tell you, like, no one's ever done this. I mean, I could show you a Mura that's done it, the Mizuno, a Hogan.
Not only that, but like other, like you could take a TaylorMade and a Nike and a Mura, and you could line them up and be like, look, right? I mean,
Scotty Cameron's not taking it personal that people tell him his club looks like a Ping. He knows it does.
Right.
So I don't know. And then Sub70 is like, yeah, there's a lot of great golf clubs that have been made in history. We're working with a guy whose name is literally on a bunch of them. This is what he's looking to make. It's cool. Like, what? Sorry, they've been making modern golf clubs for 80 years now.
Right.
But it's
all right.
It's great.
I had one more question.
Yes.
Just quickly, I know, and if you watch the unboxing, maybe we can put a card up here. Watch the unboxing of these.
Great plug. We remembered this. We did do our unboxing earlier this week.
That's true. And there is another thing that came in that box. So if you already think that you know what came in the box, you're wrong. There's more. Anyways, they only came with the heads.
Oh yeah.
So what do you have for your shafts in those irons?
You threw me off because I thought we were going to talk about something else, which I think it's
we're
right
saving
here.
that.
Okay.
We're saving that.
I took apart a set of Mizuno MP18s at musclebacks. I was going to say megabytes. Like, tell me I haven't been working on tech problems for 5-7 days straight. I went with KBS dollar tapers or money tapers, depending on what you want to call them. Some people call them S tapers. By the way, I got a review of these on driverangeheroes.com. I don't know how I'd explain it. The shaft, it's not as firm as like a KBS C taper and low spin, low launch like that. It's a little more friendly, but it's very tight, very controlled. So I think it's like if you took a C taper, gave it a little more spin, a little more player friendliness.
Okay.
Maybe that's a dollar taper, money taper, S taper. But I liked it in the Mizuno a lot. And I said, it might be a work in progress, but I went with the KBS. I do have a couple sets of graphite shafts that are waiting in the wings, depending on how this goes, that I'd be willing to try. But
okay,
yeah, KBS, that's what I got in there.
So you've got yourself a one of one set there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty awesome.
As Jason Highland said to me, I said to Jason, I'm like, dude, I can't wait for you to try them. He's like, I can't hit those. And I'm like, well, neither can I, but I'm going to try.
Right. They're still going to go in the bag.
But he's like, yeah, there's two people in the world who have those clubs, you and the guy they're named after. And you know what? I'm not a big, let me break, because I hate, how
big time golf guy.
Right. You know how I hate that whole, I have this golf thing and you don't. Buck Club, Sugarloaf. It's just not. Right. I hate that part of the game. But this set, I'm not going to lie to you. Hey, I'm kind of yeah, I got him. Which I think anybody who gets the TAIII in any version of it is going to have that similar feeling. They're a cool club.
It's part of the point of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And especially I got the raw finish. It's so good. But the black finish is super sleek. And especially with this design, they look fantastic. So I think, they're going to be a head turn in the bag. Oh, and worth pointing out. So think of trying to think who else has done it. Mizuno with that copper MP20. I think it was an MP20 last year. The TaylorMade, I don't even remember what they're called, but the Tiger Woods irons, and they came in the box and the little certificate of authenticity.
Oh, sure.
And
Cobra just did that with the Ricky Fowler copper.
Yeah. So, man, these would probably look pretty dirty in copper too. I love them looking over the side of the couch at him when they have chair. But what Sub70 is doing, they got custom boxes made, so they're doing something like that. But I said this in the review,
awesome.
But if you know Sub70, you buy I feel like you buy a head cover from Sub70, and they're sending you a hat, a ball mark, or
you get a letter.
Their extras are so good, and I've heard what's going in. If people haven't gotten them yet, what's going in? What's in the box? What's going in the Sub70 box? The special edition Tommy Armour, the third one. I think they've shown the hats before. So there's a hat in it, but there's some other stuff. They're going to really make it the experience. I mean, it's not I could see people being part of the appeal is, hey, you get a set of blades and it's $500 for a 4-through pitch set. Yeah, that's a steal. Yeah. These I think are coming in somewhere right around 1,000.
Okay.
It's not the same thing. A lot more went into these clubs. It's 2 years of R&D. And if you really consider what they're competing against in the market, it's still a fantastic deal. And they are aware it is an expensive item on their list, and they are making the most of the limited edition, or I don't know if it's limited edition. It's a tempered edition. They aren't making a ton of these. I'm sure they'll make more when they need to. But they also know not everybody under the sun is going to buy them, so they don't need to make 7 billion, runs of them. So,
right,
it's going to be worth it. It's going to be a cool experience. I look forward to seeing some unboxing videos from other people that actually order them and do it that way, just to see what it's like.
Yeah,
but that's it, man. That's a TAIII iron. I know it probably wasn't as Rick Shields-ish as people would like these videos to be, but I don't know, a little more personal. I think they're a lot of fun. I just think they're genuinely super cool.
They are cool.
Can't wait to get out on the course with them.
And that is Gear Talk.
Hey, before we continue on that range life show sometimes about golf, I referred to sitting in front of this turned off fireplace roughly 45 minutes ago.
Right.
It's so hot. It's been nice because like it was about 65 degrees today, albeit super windy. So the house is in this nice, like, it's not cold, it's not hot, just nice and even. It is a sauna here. It is so hot, and it's a pretty big open area up here. It is hot now. So my apologies to anyone. So if I got sweaty pits and my family having to come up here tomorrow, it's brutal. All right, so I do want to hear about this. Now that I feel like I'm done my part, I'm just lounging here.
Yeah.
You played your first professional golf tournament today in the Chicago Professional Golfers Association Tour. That's what it's called, right?
The Chicago Golf Tour.
Oh, okay. That's a little different.
That's what it's called.
So you had your first, I guess, correct me if I'm wrong. It doesn't work like it's a one day everybody shows up and play it thing. Like you can kind of play on your. Yeah. Play on like your own time, right?
Yeah. So they give you 2 weeks.
Okay.
You have 2 weeks to play your round. You have to play it with another member because they're going to sign the card. It's a whole thing, right? It's like
so do they provide like some sort of list? So like say you and Adam Unfiltered can't play together. You can like look someone up and like connect to make your matches. Or not matches, but
so I've already, yeah. So I've already gotten emails from people being like, hey, can anyone play at this day, at time, whatever, that kind of stuff. And people figure it out. Adam Unfiltered, as you mentioned, is a sponsor of the tour, big shooter that he is, or partner or whatever.
I heard the dollar amount he had to spend to get that was roughly 7 figures. I think that's true. Maybe he can leave a comment down below and let us know if it was 7 or 8. I know it was big, the inaugural season and all.
It's true. It's true. So yeah, we went and played, and there was a couple different. So I've never ever played a competitive stroke play tournament ever. So, which really, I don't know every single rule per se. I have a general idea.
I didn't even think of that as a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
oh God, my ball's out of bounds off the tee.
Right.
I'll tell you what, I'm just gonna take a drop and I'll add 4 strokes. That's not the rule, Kris. But I'm sorry.
Is it worse? Is it more harsh or harsher than the current rule, than the actual rule? Then who cares?
Or I'll tell you what, just DQ me.
Right.
See you next week.
Yeah. So I won't get into the course and the conditions and that sort of stuff necessarily that I feel like really played a role in my performance, but I will talk about.
You can play off of ice and flop out of a snow bunker, I'm sure that course in 70-degree weather. Actually, the weather was kind of shitty for you guys, but
it was super windy.
Yeah,
it was super windy.
By the way, do you know what clubs are great when it's super windy out? The easily manipulable, malleable. I don't know. Sub70 TAIII irons. Flight it low, bend it under that wind. See what I did there?
Would have come in handy. Would
have lent them to you.
I'm just gonna highlight a few of the. So I described it in our rundown here that we've got. I don't know if you guys know this, but we have notes about our show right here. Because we're that professional. I described it as the shit show that was tourney number 1 of the Chicago Golf Tour. One of the worst rounds I've ever played since I've started playing this game. Very, very bad. The first hole, keep in mind now, I hit like 10 fairways. So I was off the tee pretty good. Even with the wind, the whole thing. I double bogeyed the first hole of the day, the hole that I have parred on every time we've gotten out there. I think that nice par 5.
Have you ever played with anybody that almost eagled it?
I have.
Oh, okay.
I have. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, it's probably some idiot.
Chubby, sweaty guy.
I know a chubby, sweaty guy right now.
And there is now, okay, hole number 11. It's another par 5. Water down the right side, OB down the left, right? Walking trail, forest.
Neat little hole.
What's that?
I say little. It's a neat hole.
Yeah.
Not little, it's a par 5, but.
Right. But it's actually a gettable par 5 if you hit a really good drive. Like if you hit, not even a really good drive, if you hit a straight ball off the tee on 11, you're going to have 200 yards in. Mm-hmm. To the green. In fact, when Adam and I played our practice round, we both had birdie putts on that hole. Pretty good looks at birdie actually, because we did play the hole really well. Adam and I did not play that hole very well when it mattered. Here's an example of the rules. My first tee ball, I hit so far out of bounds left. We had no idea where it even crossed.
Right.
So, re-tee it, hitting 3, right? And hit that ball so hard that I reached the water. I reached the unreachable water on 11. So now I'm dropping where it went into the water, right?
At least you knew where it was this time, though.
Right. So I drop and lay up, right? Like a good golfer taking his medicine. Had about 150 out at that point, and I hit my approach to the green short into the water again. So
I bet you were a lot of fun to be around right then too.
And meanwhile, Adam is basically having the same experience. Now he put his first ball in play. He hit his drive in play, back-to-back water balls. That he played. So after 11, I put a 10 on. He put a 9. I put a 10 on the card on 11, man.
In a way, though, I bet it felt pretty good.
Oh my God. I was exhausted. I'm like, I'm so tired. And then we get to 12, which is that par 3, that elevated par 3. It's like 140 yards, right? That way downhill. And just to give you an idea of the wind, I hit a 7-iron from an elevated tee at 140 yard pin, and it landed probably 10 yards short of the green.
It's a fairly big green too, if memory serves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it just hung up in the wind forever. Adam hit a 6-iron, which I didn't know he did that because it's against the rules to tell your partner what iron you have in your hand off the tee. I don't know if you know that.
We would be so bad in this together because we'd be like, I'd be like, I'll just drop by you or whatever. And then we'd be like 4 holes and be like, oh shit. All these things we've done the last 4 holes, you're not allowed to do. Right.
It's the equivalent of like crosstalk or table talk at a poker table. That would be you and me.
Yeah.
Being like,
I'm like, dude, I got a jack and a 3. You believe this?
Oh, like, no way, I got a queen and a 4.
Yeah. Oh, it turns out you're not not Okay, right. Got it.
But we're friends. Yeah.
Anyways, cool. He said if I win, I told him I'd share and buy him dinner. Like, right. Oh, okay.
So, anyways, it was quite the experience. Tough way to start the tour, but we got the Masters coming up now at Ravislow, so very excited about that.
Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna shoot lights out based on this Water's Edge story you're telling me.
But to be fair, on the back, probably the last 4 holes, the both of us got into a real nice rhythm. I was playing a very confident little baby fade all over the golf course. It was really fun. So I walked off with some confidence.
Do you remember when we saw the turtle laying eggs in the bunker, or at least covering their nest?
I do remember
we played there, and we had like the next 4 holes of like slight panic attacks on how we should handle this. Right. And I'm like, people are going to dig up its eggs. Turtles, man. I like turtles.
Yeah,
that's what you got to drop in. You got to drop in that famous internet clip of I like turtles.
The meme.
Right, yeah, you got to do it.
The meme.
So good. Well, you survived.
It's true.
Sure, Ravislow. Wonder if Ravislow will be a swamp. I always feel like it is a soggy swamp this time of year.
Yeah, see, that was the issue. I didn't want to get into it because the conditions are the conditions, whatever. But a competitive round on March 27th or whatever it is just too early in this part of the country.
Like literally, we're not allowed to record our handicaps till April 1st.
Yeah. And so, part of that is we could have waited till this weekend to play our competitive round. That was perfectly okay to do, which would have been but like, boy, everything's still chewed up and kind of worn out, and the greens are really slow, and it's the whole thing. But whatever, I got to hit shots.
Got to hit shots.
Got to hit shots.
Make a few putts.
That's right.
Did you?
Right. Oh God, I putted so bad.
Not surprised to hear that. Did you?
I gotta practice putting, man. I'm going back to Andy. I gotta go hit up Andy.
You probably should. Andy, sneak peek is moving to a new golf course in the near future. Here, it's a pretty nice early 1900s Alistair McKenzie. I don't know if you know who he is, but he is going to be based out of there now. Small world. He's in there with, he's like buddies with the pro there. The pro there is buddies with Scott Redmond. And as Andy told me, he was going to be moving to this course today. Emma from Scott Redmond Concept said, "Oh, so-and-so from this golf course called yesterday and ordered head covers." Like, what a weird collision of worlds.
Whoa. And I'm rewatching Peaky Blinders.
I told my wife, I'm like, we gotta watch the last season to get up to speed again and just to get it in our blood.
Yeah,
it's right. And
we really need to do that other podcast idea.
We do. We
really need to do that.
I
have so many thoughts about season 3 after watching it again. I have so many thoughts about the production and the way they play with color in that show and how it affects your moods.
Now you're getting real deep.
So watch it again. If you go, they did it a lot.
It's like modern day Great Gatsby, man.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. And so like all of in those early seasons, those scenes, this show went off the rails. But the scenes in like Birmingham,
show some respect to my home city, Birmingham.
Thank you. Birmingham. It's very blue, and it gives it that very cold and lonely kind of feeling. But then as they become more successful, the blue seeps away, and you get some deeper blacks, and you get some more yellow.
They always keep Birmingham like black and yellow though, because of the industrial vibe of it all. They have to.
Right. But even still, there's like that. It's really fun how they play with the color, and I really enjoyed that.
But I think we've talked about that. I mean, we talked about that show a lot during lockdown golf podcast, and we definitely talked about it in the early episodes of this show. But I think it's fascinating that real people place, the Peaky Blinders were a real thing in the early 1900s, late 1800s, and they couldn't shoot the show in Birmingham because so much of it got destroyed by World War II that like none of the stuff was there. So they had to go up to Liverpool and Manchester to shoot it.
Yeah.
But then that like main block where they all live, they all have flats,
Right.
The show's had so much success and became like such a thing, like, oh, they shoot Peaky Blinders here in Liverpool, and they built like super expensive new flats on that block and completely killed the facade. And they're like, gotta find a new location. And then they shoot like basically like all the industrial scenes quite literally in this like historic Birmingham, like history of Birmingham industry museum.
Oh wow. I didn't know that.
Think of like going to the Museum of Science and Industry and be like, oh, there's a U-boat. They're going, let's go into this museum and literally shoot the show.
Right.
So that's cool. And then remember that time I went to the real life Garrison at 2:45 in the morning on a Friday. Yeah.
You love that story.
You don't go there. Like it'd be like me having someone come in and be like, hey, just when Cabrini Green was so, just go head out to Cabrini Green at 2:45 in the morning and see how it's going.
Right.
All right. Hey, I think we've covered a lot of things today. A lot of things.
It's true.
I'm sweating. So that's like my motivation to end the show. TAIII irons, go check them out at driverangeheroes.com this week. We also have a Tourage 721 fairway wood review. We saved that for Gear Talk because you, sir, will be posting some Tour Edge 721 content in the near future as well.
It's true. Stay tuned. This is, it's kind of a Tour Edge Sub70 channel
at this point, and I'm okay with it.
I'm super okay with it. But yeah, we've got stuff coming.
By the way,
definitely have stuff coming.
We got to get that 721 match on the books or whatever that's going to look like. But we got to get that done.
We have a lot of homework, video homework. So we're supposed to, people wanted us to swap sets. So they wanted you playing the E's and me playing the C's against one another. We have the 721.
We don't have
stuff.
We don't have all that gear anymore.
Well, we can get it again.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we've got the stuff over here. We're going to play our match with our old stuff, with our vintage stuff. I mean, we've got all kinds of things we got to get out. We got to get out and do. So
it all sounds so fun, and like we have great ideas, and then we're like, Jesus, this is a lot of work.
That's right.
Oh, and we have day jobs, family.
Right.
What are you gonna do?
The people are demanding it, William. We have no choice. We have literally no choice.
By the way,
YouTube law.
That Tour Edge Hot Launch 521 irons review on driverangeheroes.com always did pretty well. Has been blowing up lately. So I don't know if people are watching this show thinking like, I better check out those irons, but
have you told Claffy to go to this channel and look at the comments about all the Tour Edge stuff? I think it would make him so happy.
I should tell him. I don't know if I have.
People from all different walks of life, all different ages, all different handicaps,
literally all over the world.
They love this stuff, man. Love it. And I think it would just be really rewarding for someone, like him to go and see that.
And seeing it's not just us idiots on the official Tour Edge YouTube channel talking about it. Like
right.
people are agreeing,
Yeah. We had a 66-year-old who said he's loving the E stuff. We've got, our pal from Buffalo, New York, who won the fairway wood, who loves his stuff. Like we just have all, people from all over the place. Just they come and find our videos, and then they feel compelled to say like, these guys are telling the truth. It's real. It's like legit equipment. So
yeah, I agree.
It's awesome.
I agree. I will tell him that. I have to remember that. I got to shoot him a text anyway. So when I do forget that, I'll tell you. All right. Golf origin stories. Some stuff going on over in Chris McEwen land. Tell us about it.
It's true. So, we had Matt Neely, who had a hand in
perfect segue. Yep.
Designing the ENC series Tour Edge stuff and the new 721 stuff. Had him on, and then I think I mentioned before, Ben Lyons, E News, Oscar guy, ESPN guy, all that kind of stuff. He's on the show this week, and Ryan Barath, I
haven't listened to that show yet.
It's fun, man. You'll like it.
I'll tell you what. Ryan Barath is too big time for me. Meaning, and it's largely me saying that like out of pure jealousy because I think his interests are very similar to mine, and he's very, very man. What? And he knows his stuff. Like I would say, not so much. When I feel like when I was getting beyond like I can pull a steel shaft and then put a grip on, like. He was where I got a lot of validation. I'm like, wait, am I sure I'm doing this right? And he we want to make our own videos of this kind of stuff in the future. I will say like Ryan's videos of club work, building, et cetera, the like gear side of it, and not so much like review, but why gear works the way it does, how you build it. Guy does such a good job with it. Such a good job.
I've invited him to Chicago. I hope he can make it out this summer because I feel like the three of us on a golf course, because he's also a beer connoisseur. He was a beer sommelier.
I was going to make a like jokingly dismissive, like, oh, okay, and then you said that. It's like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, no, he's like legit like that into beer. So I feel like we'd have a lot of fun.
Like, oh, you don't like spotted cow, Ryan? You don't know anything.
That'd be part of the fun. Anyways, he's on the show too. So, and he's an awesome dude. So yeah, that's what I got. What about you? What's on the website?
I said that before we got to.
I didn't know if there's other stuff. So never mind. I'll cut that part out. It's fine.
No, don't cut it out. I did forget one thing though. So, the blog, we usually have about one blog post a week. And, this one's, I don't know how many people know them. I don't know how many people care, but I woke up one day and I saw a Facebook post. He was tagged in a picture by his wife. He's a golf instructor, this guy, and he's really good. I got to know him years ago when he worked at the Schaumburg Golf Galaxy with a buddy of mine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's Welsh, has the accent and everything, no vowels in his language.
Right.
The guy's so cool, really great guy. And let's just say this. There's certain things you probably shouldn't do right in the start of like the heart of the golf season. And this blog is just a little story about it that I woke up to one day and was shocked. So check that out if you're interested. At the least, it's good natured fun. I read it to my wife and I said, is this too like inside Bill Bush's life? And she's like, nah, it's fine. And she doesn't even care about this website. So
right.
All right. I think we're good here. You know what? Go to secondcitygolf.com. Buy this hat. No, this not.
Or this one.
I take it back. This is not one of our hats. Shout out Ahead. They made this for me. But this shirt, these joggers, that Range Life hat.
Right here.
Pick 'em up.
It's a champion hat.
So good. So good. Mine will be here soon. I got the shipping label today.
I still have your shirt. I got to give you your shirt.
It's all right. You forgot the shirt when I forgot to give you the stickers that were literally in my bag next to your Prius.
Right.
All right, everybody. I'm Bill Bush. DriveRangeHeroes.com. He's Kris McEwen of Golf Origin Stories. This is his YouTube channel. You can follow him at Kris McEwen everywhere. All right. That was episode 62 of That Range Life. We'll see you next week.